Hey guys, it's me, Cardi V, and for my first episode of my booktube, I wanted to talk about the latest hyped reads that I have read. So these two books that I'm going to talk about, they have been all over Book Riot, all over Goodreads, all over BookTube, or not BookTube, excuse me, Bookstagram. Like literally everyone's reading them, everyone's loving them. So I decided to also give them a read. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto. This book, okay, I'll admit, I love Jessie Q. Sutanto. I haven't read all of her books, but I have read. Let's see, this book would make number four, and I just love it. I just absolutely love it. Um, so far, all of her books have centered around like Indo Chinese characters, and I love it. I don't know. She is so funny. I love the way she writes, and the characters feel real. If you have ever listened to Joe Coy's stand up, how he talks about like his Filipino family, like how his aunties like talk to him and Joseph and like how his mom talks. I don't know. It's just I get that same type of vibe from Jesse Q Sutanto's characters. So I'll probably do like a whole like video on just how much I love her. But anyway, back to Vera Wong's. So this was definitely a 5-star read. Um, Basically, it's a cozy mystery. Um, this 60 something year old woman, Vera Wong, she owns a tea shop, and she is like she is very much I don't want to say set in her ways because I mean she is, but she's very much like your um, traditional Chinese mother. She is very sure of herself, and she has no problem giving you unsolicited advice. Sorry about that. My son has the zoomies. It's really early in the morning, and he just wanted to come in and give me a high five. Anyway, back to the story. So basically, she has a tea shop, and then one day she comes downstairs, and there's a dead body just in her tea shop. And she then takes it upon herself to figure out why this person was murdered, why they ended up in her tea shop. And she does all this because she just doesn't think that the police know what they're doing and they're not taking it serious. So she kind of befriends the suspects or who she suspects killed this person that ended up in her tea shop. And it's just funny. Like as she's befriending them, she's like cooking them food. She's basically inviting herself over to their houses, and she's just being really nosy. And obviously, all of the suspects, they have their own like secrets. So they're like trying to like keep certain things like secret, and it's just really funny. She's hilarious. I did figure out who the killer was before the big reveal. However, I was not expecting the twist that was put in there. I'll say it like that, just because I don't want to ruin the book in case you decide to read it. But yes, so star 5 star read. I definitely believe it deserves all the hype that it's gotten. So the second book that I read recently that everyone has been obsessed with is The Davenports by Crystal Marquis. I believe that's how you say it. I'll read you guys the synopsis. In 1910, the Davenports are one of the few black families of immense wealth and status in a changing United States. Their fortune made through the entrepreneurship of William Davenport, a formerly enslaved man who founded the Davenport Carriage Company years ago. Now the Davenports live surrounded by servants, crystal chandeliers, and endless parties, finding their way and finding love, even where they're not supposed to. There is Olivia, the beautiful elder Davenport daughter, ready to do her duty by getting married, until she meets the charismatic civil rights leader Washington Dwight and sparks fly. The younger daughter, Helen, is more interested in fixing cars than falling in love, unless it's with her sister's suitor. Amy Rose, the childhood friend turned maid to the Davenport sisters, dreams of opening her business and marrying the one man she could never be with, Olivia and Helen's brother John. But Olivia's best friend Ruby also has her sights set on John Davenport, though she can't seem to keep his interest until family pressure has her scheming to win his heart just as someone else wins hers. So this is actually going to be a series. Um, it wasn't a 5-star read for me. It was not bad. It was at least a 3.5-star read for me. I love the black author. I love the black cast. Um, I just really, I had some issues with the characters. Now I will say that this is a young adult novel, so I don't know if it's because I'm older, not that YA has like any type of like age restriction, but I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I thought Olivia was boring. I did not like her story arc of her falling in love with the civil rights activist and then, spoiler alert, getting involved in the civil rights activity. I have obviously no problem with the civil rights activity. It was just like if your father is someone who was formerly enslaved and I don't know. I know that they're rich and her family has kind of sheltered her, but it was just kind of like, how are you that, like, just unaware? But again, I'm looking at it through the lens of someone in 2023 versus a young woman in 1910. So obviously, like, I don't, maybe I'm being too nitpicky, but I did find her boring. Um, Olivia's best friend, Ruby, I found her extremely annoying. Um, she, um, she wasn't bad. She just was really whiny and annoying. And I don't like that for me. Um, Helen, I'll be very honest, she was one of my favorite characters. However, sometimes like how she was written, it was hard to remember that this character is supposed to be, I want to say like 17 years old, because they kind of, in certain areas, they wrote her as if she was like, I don't know, like I'd say like 12. So it was kind of like, wait, like, did she just kiss this girl, man? Like, wait, hold, oh yeah, that's right, she's 17. She's not, a 12-year old. Um, and then Amy Rose. I actually really liked Amy Rose. I actually wish that she would have gotten more. I don't want to say camera time because obviously it's a book, but I really wish that she would have had more chapters. And same thing for Helen. I wish she had more chapters. So I don't know if I will continue with the series. I'm kind of interested to see if we'll get more of like Amy Rose and Helen because their story, I mean, well, none of the girls' stories were finished, but I am interested more so in Helen and Amy Rose. And I don't know, maybe I would have enjoyed the first book had this first book just focused on like one or two characters versus four characters all at once. Just because, like I said, Olivia and Ruby, they just weren't main characters that I like to typically see. But like I said, this is the first in the series, so there's always room for growth. I don't think the book was written bad or anything. Like it was written very well. I just didn't like those two characters. Um, they just weren't my favorite. So if you guys have read either of these two books, let me know your thoughts. If you liked them, you hated them, if you believe they deserved all the hype that they got, or if they were just kind of like, yeah, decent. And if you plan on adding them to your TBR if you haven't read them yet. So, thank you.